Okay, I want to say one more thing. Bezrat Hashem, I'm leaving soon for Florida, and I want to just finish off with one more point. We're talking about prophecies about Mashiach. We're talking about Beinam L'Chavero, ending hatred. Right? I said this Friday I was in Maras Machpelah, and I spoke about Leah Menu. Very interesting medrash. I've said this thousands of times. This idea, but Yar Hashem Kisnu Leah v'Yiftechas Rachma. Right? Because Leah was hated, so um, Hashem answered her tefillas, and she was, even though she was barren, let her have children. Right? Why was Leah hated so much? Well, Yaakov was a good guy. His picture is on the Kisei HaKavod. How could Yaakov hate Leah? So the Medrash says why. It's a Medrash in Bereshis Ayin Aleph, I believe. The Medrash says because when Yaakov woke up in the morning and found out, oh wow, I thought I was married to Rachel, I'm married to Leah. You know what? Yaakov said to her, "You're Ramai Bas Ramai, you're Ramai Bas Ramai, right? Your father Lavan." Yeah. And what did Leah say back to him? She said, "What do you mean? I learned it from you. Yeah, you said Anochi Esav B'charecha." Right? So I mentioned in my last year about this that she was right. Leah was right. Yeah, but the goal in life is not to be right. This is so critical in shalom bayis, in interpersonal relations, and everything. The goal in marriage is not to be right. Anyone who wants to be right in marriage will be divorced. Yeah, because the goal is not to be right. The goal is that Shechina should dwell in your home. And how do you have Shechina dwell in your home? Ish v'isha shalom b'neihem, Shechina b'neihem. That's how you have the Shechina there, right? Even though Leah was right, yeah, and chas v'shalom, not opening my mouth up against Leah, yeah, she had a very hard nisayon at that point, yeah, she was, I don't know, pushed or whatever into this relationship. She wakes up in the morning, her husband thought she was Rachel, she turns up late, like, what do you say? Like, what are you supposed to say? So I suggest, and of course, easy for me, what do they call Monday morning quarterback, right? Leah Imenu could have said, yeah, and again, this is not a criticism. The Medrash taught us this, so we should know what to do. Leah could have said, you know what? You're right. My father's a Ramai. I was pushed into it. She should have broken down crying. Yeah, who he's like. And then, good chance there would have been peace between them. But it didn't happen. Yeah, Hashem didn't want it to happen. Right? Hashem wanted Leah to be hated, and that would make her daven in a certain way, and she would thank Hashem for the tzaras, and then we would have all these thousands of shirim, and thank Hashem when things look bad. But for us to learn out, yeah, for us to learn out that in marriage, in any relationship, the goal is not to be right. I speak to so many husbands, but I'm right, and the wife says, but I'm right, right, and they're both wrong. Right? I asked the Bachar on Friday. I said, if your wife makes terrible food, what do you say? He said to me, it's not so bad. I said, no, that's not what you say. You say, wow, you don't have to lie. It's like my mother used to make. My mother always burnt the food, whatever it might be. But the emes is not factual truth. Factual truth that you have to do whatever you can to stick to factual truth as much as possible. In fact, the Issa Devar Sheker Tirchak means you have to be as far away from Sheker as you can. If you could say factual truth, you must say it, right? But if the factual truth is going to hurt somebody else, then you have to know how to get around. You have to get around that. Rav Yaakov Shmuel Kamenetsky told me once about Shidduchim. He said you can't lie, but you don't have to say everything. You don't have to say everything, right? And that's the point. The point is to make other people feel good, yeah, and not to hurt them, not to insult them. This is the tachlis. That's the tachlis, yeah. Saying the truth when it's going to hurt someone, right? For Leah Menu to say to Yaakov, now this was the most difficult thing that ever happened in Yaakov's life, to lie about the prophets, yeah. And to say that, I learned from you, it was too much, yeah. Everybody has their, threshold. It really upset Yaakov. He really got upset to the point where there could be a sina. Now, of course, we have to understand it's very deep. Yaakov Avinu, right? He's merkava to mean his tiferes. His pictures on the Kisei HaKavod. We have to understand what it means. But it really hurt. Yaakov Avinu, the hardest moment of his life was to lie. Rav Yaakov Kamenetsky said, every one of us was tested in a way against his nature. Avram had to kill Yitzchak. Yitzchak had to defend Klal Yisrael on Shabbos. Yeah, Yaakov had to lie. That was the most painful moment of his life. It came through Nevuah. Rivka had Nevuah that she said to do that. Yeah, he had to do it. It was the most painful moment of life. And now, when she tricks Yaakov into marrying, she involved Lisa tricky. She says that it was just too much. It really, really hurt him. Yeah. That's what you have to know. The truth is to be sensitive to your spouse's feelings, to your chavus's feelings, to even to Rosh Kola's feelings. Everybody's human, even Rosh Kola. But the point is like this. The point is that, like we started off right from the Shaita, in shul on Shabbos. Yeah, we have to do something. Each person has to think about their own life and think what they could do to bring the gula. Yeah, and it's not a joke. It's really. Ari says it's pashut. It is pashut. The Mesil Shasharm writes a sefer. He starts by saying everything I'm telling you is pashut. Nothing I'm telling you is a chiddush. The problem is, he says, brilliant, one of the most brilliant lines ever written. Mitoch ro pshuto shikha mishkachas. Yeah, it's so simple that people forget it. And this is why I tell everyone, learn Rav Gershon Edelstein's Parsha sheets. He just says simple things, but they're so simple that nobody says them, and everyone forgets them. This is our job. Hashem should give us chatzlach and siyat shmaya. Amen.